as animal lovers and caregivers. For most Americans, the horse is seen as a regal animal. It is usually a pet or a showmanship animal. Few imagine that over 72,000 horses are sold each year for human consumption overseas, and many others are abused or neglected. Senior producer Patricia Gross brings us the story of rescuers who place these animals in loving homes.
Texas is horse country, and we're proud of it. No one can deny they are some of the most gracious, proud, and strong animals on the planet. Planet Texas, that is. But ignorance, cruelty, greed, and neglect sometimes claim the lives of these innocent beings.
You're behind.
So Texas is also home to these neglected horses. That's why since 1999, Lone Star Equine Rescue has nurtured over 60 horses back to health so they can be adopted.
Our main emphasis per the law is that they get enough food and water, and especially in years that there are droughts or in the fall after we've had no rain for months and the pastures have dried up. We take in calls to investigate neglect, and then we work with the sheriff's departments or local humane societies to get them involved.
Here, what's your food? Here, look. You hungry? There you go.
R.T. and Terry Fitch are two of the 150 or so members at Lone Star Horse Rescue.
Do you want to go ahead and halter up Apache and wipe that blood off?
Some volunteer time and or money, others their space, or all three.
Here's Apache's.
We do not have a facility. We don't have a farm where you can come visit the horses or where all the horses can go. We work through foster homes, and that's where we're at today, and I do that too. Very, very generous people who really are a heart. They let us take in horses because they open up their boarding facility to take in a horse who needs a place to stay until a permanent home can be found.
The Fitches are foster parents.
We lived in Brazil for the last several years, and down there, by American standards, most of the horses would be considered rescue, abused, neglected horses. And my horse, which is in the pasture behind me, was one of them. Most of the horses are just needed attention, needed love, and we couldn't bring all of the horses back with us, so we did what we could when we moved back to Texas.
And we did a little bit of work there also with horses that we had purchased and rehabilitated and then found homes for them prior to us coming back.
Easter is just one example of the type of cases the rescue sees on a monthly basis. When the owner contacted the rescue through the internet, Easter was so weak she fell down and could not get up for about 8 hours.
She had gone to a cattle auction south of Houston, and the bidding on this horse started around $10. And she ended up purchasing the horse for $60. And when she called us, we went ahead and went down immediately and picked the horse up and brought her back. And she's been here for a week and a half now and has put on a little bit of weight.
Rescuers still have to cover her face because she does not have the energy to shake the flies away from her cuts. To take care of these horses generally cost about $100 a month in feed and bedding. This does not account for the vet fees, which can be quite high. But that is not what worries these foster parents most.
When it comes to horse rescue, the hardest part is not being able to help. Not for having, if you notify the authorities, nothing happens, they try, or the owner moves the horse, and you haven't done any good at all. That, for me, is the hardest part. A victory was the fact that the owners of this horse were kind enough to donate her to us for rehabilitation. That's a victory. And then, of course, on the end, when the horses are adopted out, that's the other happy side.
We sent a horse to a new adoption home last weekend, and I was glad to see him go. But as I walked back up down the driveway, there were tears in my eyes. So
not too many.
Not too
many.
But
they were there nonetheless.
I'm not sure if they were happy tears or sad tears.
We did get some generated interest out of that. You know, there are hundreds of horse shows around the state. If we could get in with just a couple,
I should love
and find somebody to go.
A nonprofit, Lone Star Equine Rescue needs more foster parents, funds, volunteers, and citizens who will take the time to spread the word. There is help for horse owners who can't afford to keep them.
And it was a small fundraiser. Abuse isn't very common, but neglect is, where people just don't, either they intentionally or unintentionally don't feed the horses what they need, and they start to lose weight. They may get their horses' feet have to be trimmed, kind of like our fingernails, or they get really long. They may not take care of that, or they may have a horse that gets injured and not treat that. So neglect itself, especially where they just don't feed the horse, is the most common.
Lone Star Rescue mainly keeps track of members on events through the internet, and membership seems to grow every year. What unites this grassroots organization is their unconditional love for horses.
If you're interested in the Lone Star Equine Rescue Program, you can call them at 512-303-7682.